What's going on, guys? We just finished wrapping up the last week's video, so edited, ready to go. Hope you guys enjoy it. We played session yesterday, got cooked for negative $415. We're now down $2,500 in the 1 to 3 10K challenge. Today, we're going to play, hopefully, well again. I think I played well yesterday, but we're going to play well again today. And hopefully the cards are more in our favor today. It'd be nice to book a win, be nice for the confidence. Let's go play. Hope you guys like my hoodie. Look at that little cat messing about with the thing Jupiter. Anyways, that's it. Villa 1-3. Let's go. Hello, folks. It's a new day. It's a new dawn, and you know what? Feeling pretty good. Let's play some cards. This is our very first time. We bought it for $350. Random amount, I know, but whatever. Move past it. This is the very first hand. There's a bunch of limps. I looked down at Jack 9 suit in the big blind. Could check this back, but I prefer a little bit of aggression with a hand like this out of position. So I bump it on up to $25. We do get a caller from the button as well as the small blind, so we're going three ways to this flop, which comes down all right for my range. It's ace 4-4 rainbow, but I don't even get a chance to bet. Small blind just snap leads out for 75. We're not going to do anything but fold for this hand. Folks, this is going to be almost every single hand I play. I did miss a couple, but this is like 90% of the hands I played. I'm going to go over every single one. She does show the ace of spades, so we were drawing dead on the flop. On to the next hand. We are very card dead, but we finally pick up king queen off under the gun. We bump it on up to $10. Under the gun plus 2 calls. We're on an hour into this session at this point, but small blind and big blind do make the call. We are 4 ways to a flop, and it comes down jack 10-3 rainbow. We got 2 overs, nut, straight draw. So when it checks to me, I'm going to put in a small bet here at $15. And only the small blind player makes a call, which is the lady that led into me last hand. Off the turn, it comes down the queen of hearts. We make top pair. Checks it over to me. I know that this spot, you're supposed to be betting very big with almost all of your range, but I think versus this player, I want to size down a little bit. I don't want her to fold a hand like 10-5 suited, which she is absolutely going to have in her range, which is basically drawing dead. So I size down here just $25. I don't think I need to go big. My hand is quite invulnerable. And she makes a call. River comes down, not a great card. It's the 8 of clubs, so any 9 is a straight. But when she checks it over, you know, considering she just led for $75 into 80 last hand when she hit top pair, I imagine she's going to lead all of her 9x. So I think there's still some value here. I don't want to go too big, but I still think we get called by a hand like ace-jack, like ace-10, like 10-7 suited, like jack-6 suited. This lady... she's a very lovely lady, does not like to fold though, so I think we're going to go for a thin value bet. I put it in $75. We get a quick call, and she's got the 10-9 off, so my read was wrong. I did think she would lead the river with a straight. Fortunately, she did not. My mistake. On to the next hand. Okay, folks, we've topped off. We're up to $350, and that's all the cash I brought with me. We're in the game for like 600 or so, and I didn't bring more. I just want to cap myself at 2 buy-in loss limit because it's been friggin' rough. Anyways, the under the gun straddle is live. There's 2 limps, so I raise it on up to $25. So I'd usually go 15 for the straddle, 20 for a limper, 25 for the next limper. Anyways, the straddler calls, as do the 2 limpers. We're going 4 ways to a flop. And it comes down nice. We hit a flop. We hit the ace 10-3 rainbow. Checks to me. I'm going to put in a small bet here. I go for $30. Straddler makes the call, and the other 2 limpers fold. Off the turn, it's a little bit of a dicey one, the jack of diamonds. So king queen got there, jack 10 got there, and ace jack. So a few hands to be concerned of. But this guy's very loose pre-flop. He can have ace 6 offsuit here. So I'm going to continue betting, and I want to size around 60% to get it in by the river. So I go ahead and bet for $90. He snap shoves. Oh, man. So gross. We can't fold versus this player, but it doesn't feel good. Just snap shove. We've been here for 2 hours at this casino, and this is our 3rd hand we played, and we might be going home. Just 3 hands. I make the call. River, 6 of diamonds. I show my hand. He goes, ace what? Ace what? I say ace queen. He goes, chop it up. Man, did not feel good about calling that. I cannot believe we're chopping this. All right. That's all right with me, I guess. On to the next hand. In this next hand, we have a cutoff limp, button raised to 15. I look down at 4s in the small blind. Pretty easy call here. Pocket pairs just overperform at live low stakes, and cutoff makes the call as well. 3 ways to a flop, and it comes down okay. It's 10-7-3 rainbow. I check, cutoff checks, and button puts in a C bet of 25. I think about it for a bit, and this player overlimps so much that I think his range is just going to be so much high card heavy. And this is also a play in theory as well, and I think it's going to overperform just given how his range is constructed. But I'm going to go for the check raise with the 4s, get a little bit of protection, and, you know, we can go from there. So I bump it on up to $70. Cutoff folds, button already starting to groan, which means I think we're going to get shoved on. You know, when you hear the, I don't know, but after a little bit of thought, he just folds. All right, picking up our first pot. Let's go. We pick up 9-8 of diamonds in middle position. I bump it on up to $10. We got 3 callers, so we are going 4 ways to this flop, and we actually hit. We hit the 8. Middle pair, we got backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, so pretty robust hand. However, 4 ways, I think the standard for second pair is just a check. And now it's over to the cutoff, who assembles a bet, and then fires out over 1.5x the pot, $65. Folds back to me, and give us some thought, but I just don't think we can call here. Like, we do have a pretty strong hand, but this is such a big bet. So, think about it for a bit. I just fold, and cutoff is nice enough to show us pocket queens for top set. We are drawing nearly dead. I think we have like 4% equity. All right. I guess we save a little bit of money. If you bet like 20, I mean, we do continue, but I suppose that is some good news. The button straddle is live. We got 2 limpers, and I look down at ace queen offsuit. Once again, I raise it on up to $25. We get a caller from the button as well as a big blind. We're going 3 ways to the flop, and we don't really connect on the 8-8-3 with 2 clubs and a spade. Checks to me, and I don't see much sense in betting. We fold out worse, get called by better, so I like a check. Button checks behind. Turn comes down the king of diamonds. Once again, same reasoning as the flop. We just don't get better to fold. We don't get worse to call, so I check. Button checks behind. River. Deuce of spades. Overall, pretty good run out. I check. And we're going to take this one down. Nice. We finally pick up our first pocket aces. I've been sitting at this table now for 3.5 hours. I played 4 hands. I've only won one at showdown, and then I got a semi-bluff through. But now we got aces. There's a raise to 10 from a very loose player. He does not like to fold, so this is a great spot. Low jack calls, hijack calls. I go for the squeeze up to 50. Folds back around, and they all snap fold. The player to my right even mentions how tight I've been, and there's nobody at this table that he would fold this to, except for me. Which is nuts, because I'm generally the loosest player at the table. Oh. Okay, guys. 4 hours into the session, it's getting rough. You know, it's getting tough to play, but I think it's still important to keep dialed in, keep making the right decisions, even though it feels like you're getting run over. But we got king 5 of hearts. I think this is a pretty good defend in the big blind multi-way. We go to a flop where we flop not much. Jack 4-3, we got some backdoor straight draws, but overall not much. Happy to see everything check round, and we do turn top pair on the king of diamonds. Small blind doesn't think for long, and then leads out for $25. And I know it seems like we have a clear call, but... And especially when you're so card dead and you finally make top pair and you're like, sweet. But this is not a call. Small blind is never going to bet a jack here. She doesn't bluff. So she's got a king at least, and our kicker doesn't really play. And we've got 2 players behind us who are very likely to check their flush draws on the flop, or very likely to check ace, king, etc. So this is an important one, but we just have to fold. You know, $25 is like an hour of win rate. So we can't just be throwing that away that easy. The 2 players fold, and small blind does show the ace, king offsuit. So yeah, very happy with my fold there. The straddle is live on the button. There is a small blind under the gun +2, and middle position call. We look down at ace 10 off. Great hand to squeeze. We like to lower the SPR. We're going to make some very strong top pairs, and we like to play those at low SPRs. So great hand for this. I raise it up to $35. Cutoff and button make the call. The small blind folds, undergun +1 folds. However, the undergun +2, as well as middle position calls. Guys, we're going 5 ways to this flop. There's 190 out there. Please, let's hit. And it comes down ace 7 deuce rainbow. Now, Not feeling great about the situation because a lot of these players can have ace jack, ace queen, and ace king. But overall, our hand is quite strong. We do want to bet. We do want to start building this pot, and we can jam a few turns depending how many players call and which players call. So I kick things off with a quarter pot bet of 55. I think checking is totally fine with this hand as well, and is probably the preferred. It is the preferred play, I should say. But I'm very happy with the $55 bet here. Cutoff folds, button folds. So now we're playing in position, which is great. And then the two players to my right do make the call, who are the looser players at the table. Very happy with this. Turn comes down, the 4 of hearts, introducing a flush draw as well. Under the gun plus 2 checks, middle position, takes 5 seconds, and leads out for 145. Come on! This is so frustrating. We're like 4.5 hours in this session. Finally make a hand. But I just keep my composure. Thought about it for a bit. This is the player who said I am too tight. And now he's leading into me after I bet into 5 players in a $200 pot after raising pre-flop. Like, this is a suicidal play if he's bluffing. So I just have to give him credit for a strong hand, a set, a turn 2 pair, something like that. And after moping about it for a little bit more, I decide not to get tilted. I decide not to punt away my last $310 and make a very disciplined fold. Under the gun plus 2 folds, middle position is nice enough to show us the ace of diamonds. After a few more questions, it looks like he had ace 4 of diamonds. That's all right. Pose myself. I'm gonna keep grinding. On to the next hand. Button straddles, live small blind, big blind, half called, and I decide to raise up the pocket 5s. My image is absolutely atrocious at this point. So I think I'm gonna get a little bit more credit. Try to get this hand heads up. I raise up to 25. That does not happen, as we are going to go 5 ways to the flop. 5 ways with pocket 5s, 125 in the middle, and the flop comes down 555. No. King 8-4. The lovely lady to my right once again leads for $75 into us. God damn it. We fold. On to the next hand. We've got ourselves pocket 8s. There's a raise, 3 callers. We're in the big blind. Could honestly just shove this pre. I don't hate it. There's 43 out there. I actually don't mind shoving pre, but this time I just decide to call. Go to flop of ace, 6, deuce, 2 hearts and a club. Small blind leads out for $20. We fold. Nothing more to it. The very next shuffle, we're greeted once again by pocket 8s. Look at that. There are 3 limps. We raise it up to $25, and we managed to only get 1 caller from the cutoff, the lovely lady. She's very sweet, very nice. Anyways, we go heads up to a flop of king, king, 7, 2 clubs, and a spade. And she says to me, I hope you hit. Don't know what to make too much of that, but pocket 8's very strong hand on this board. I go for a small bet of 20. She makes a quick call. Off to the turn, it comes down the jack of spades. We're now losing to jack X of clubs. I don't think we're getting value from a 7 again or 6s, so I think this hand fits nicely into a check. My opponent checks behind. River comes down, the 4 of diamonds. It's a pretty clean card. Let's try to get some value from a 7 or those 6s that are maybe non-believing at this point. I go for a bet of $60. Starts talking, says, oh, my hand's really pretty. This is a really pretty pocket pair. 6s aren't a pretty pocket pair. She talks a little bit more, says, it's a good bet. I'm pretty sure I'm good, but I'm going to chicken out. And I also feel bad for you. She shows us, you might be able to see it on screen. I haven't looked at the recording, but you might be able to see it on screen. She folds pocket 10s face up. We got a pity fold because of what's been happening for our last 4 or 5 hours at the table. Feels so weird to get a pity fold. All right. At least we win this pot. We got 2 limps. We look down at pocket 3s. We're in position. I do like raising this up. Try to get the blinds out of there. Kick the button out of the pot. So I raise up to 15. And both the limpers do make the call. 3 ways to a flop of jack, 4, deuce, rainbow. Double goalposts. So close. Middle position check. The lovely lady once again leads into us for 35. We once again fold. This time we're actually ahead. She showed ace, queen, but middle position had jack, 7 offsuit. So we're behind middle position, but probably she led ace, queen on that flop. Anyways, on to the next hand. Our second time getting aces. We actually got aces 2 times last session. See if this one can get us out of the hole. We're only down like $200-300 at this point. Two limps, I raise it up to $20. The aces, we get a button call as well as both the limpers going four ways to this flop, and it comes down okay. It's 10-10-5 rainbow. Action checks to me, could definitely check aces. I would not be checking jacks, queens, probably not kings, but aces you could check, or you can just bet small. Either or is fine. So I go for 20. Button makes a call, and both the limpers fold. Off to the turn, and it's not great. It's the 5 of diamonds. So we're only really beating button's pocket pairs at this point. I check. She wastes no time at all assembling a bet and snap bets half pot for 60. I think that we can already just let this go, but just in case she's betting a hand like 6s through 9s, perhaps pocket jacks that just call pre-flop, we're going to call once, just in case. River comes down, the 9 of spades. I check it over once again. She's just already assembling a bet. Like, cannot get the excitement out fast enough. $100 is the wager. I think it was a bit more. I think it's like 120. Oh, man. What a brutal session. So I give it some thought. This lady would never bet 7s, 8s. She wouldn't even bet pocket 9s at this point. Maybe pocket jacks. But she's also got all the 10x. She's got all the 5x that are all going to bet river. And, 6 combos of jacks. So, give it some more thought. Can't hero call here. It's such a good price. Our aces go in the bin. Rough session, folks. Okay, we got pocket 8s. Red again in the low jack. I raise it up to $10. We're getting quite short. Button makes a call as well as big blind. We go 3 ways to a flop. It's all right. It's king 7-5, 2 diamonds and a heart. Could definitely bet this. Multi-way pocket 8s and 9s do like to bet. However, I think check is a little bit better. We get more information out of the button that way. I check. Button puts in a big bet of 25. This is the guy that 1.5x'd with queens on the queen high flop. We should just be folding this. But I talked myself into a call because we got the backdoor flush and backdoor straight draw. This should just be a fold for this price. Yeah, but I make the call. Turn comes down, the 7 of clubs. Could potentially lead, but I think he just has too much king X in his range that leading just accomplishes literally nothing with my exact hand. So I check. He assembles a bet. It doesn't matter what it is. We should have just folded on the flop, but I gave away another 25 bucks. So now we fold. Rough session. We're starting to pick up some hands. We were very card dead for the first 4 hours. Now we're picking up hands. Unfortunately, not being able to convert them into chips. Let's see if we can do better. With the 9s, we got 2 limps. I raise it up to $20. The limpers both make the call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. And we flop well on the 8-4 deuce, 2 spades, and a club. Action checks to me. Probably want to size up just a little bit on this board. We're multi-way, and 9s need a lot of protection. So I'm going to size up to $40. Now the player who overbet with the queens on the queen high board is in the tank, thinking for quite a while. If he jams, we're just going to run it, right? There's 140 behind, 100 in the pot. We're just going to run it, hopefully. But after quite a long tank, he decides to fold. Low jack also folds. He looks at me, says, "Do you have pocket 9s?" Like, good read, man. Yes, I do. Sounds like he folded an 8 or perhaps 7s or something. That's nuts. Pocket aces once again. Let's go. There's a bunch of limps. I raise it up to $25. Cutoff folds, button folds. Small blind gets out the way, as does the big blind. The original limper folds. The second limper folds. The third limper folds. The low jack also folds. Guys, I can't tell you how I'm feeling in the moment when I'm playing. The room just feels dark. There's like this pressure just coming in. You feel like there's nothing you can do. It is one of the worst feelings ever. We are going to take this one down pre-flop. Our 3rd time with aces this session, and none of them have gone great for us. We do pick up 16 bucks though. Okay, folks, I'm deciding, I'm packing it up. I'm playing my last few free hands until the big blind. And we looked at 7-6 suited. It is my favorite hand. This should absolutely not be played, right? There's a straddle, 2 limpers. The SPR is going to be way too low to play this, but I just want to play one last hand before I get out of here. Don't do this, okay? This is losing at least like 1 or 2 blinds on average, which you don't want to do because your win rate's 10 big blinds an hour, right? And you get 25 hands an hour. It's pretty bad. Anyways, we go ahead and squeeze up to $30. Don't do this. We do get both the limpers to make the call. We actually flop really well on our first hand that should not be played on the ace 6-6, 2 diamonds and a spade. I think we're going to lose our stack here. That's what I was feeling in game. Like, River's going to come with diamond, he's going to donk lead, and we're just going to pay it. But, check, I bet for 30. One of the limpers calls, off to the turn. It's clean, it's the 5 of hearts. Checks once again, SPR is looking around 1, so I want to bet approximately 40 to 50% to set up a shove by the river. If I had something like ace-queen, I would just shove this turn. Our hand's a little bit too vulnerable, but with the trips, I prefer a smaller bet. We could also pair in some gut shots as well. Maybe some weak draws like 4-3 suited if we ever had it. You know, I am obviously not playing a proper range here, but I go for the 40% bet around $65. He makes a very quick call. River comes down, please no diamond. Queen of clubs, that's beautiful. He checks. We tank a little bit, move all in, snap call. I show my hand, he keeps looking at it, holding his cards. Oh no, we have the worst trips. Keeps looking at it. And it's good. It's good. We made a terrible play pre-flop. It paid off. We win this $500-something pot. And we're nearly even. Just like that. And guys, the room felt like it got brighter. My body felt lighter. It was like just getting punished for 5 hours straight, as well as our last 7-hour session of just brutal hands after another. We're still stuck a little bit, but it felt so good. Like everything felt great. This like pressure coming in just kind of lifted. And then I got a really bad headache, but that's all right. We're not going to rack up. I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling like I could continue to play well. And we're just not going to make raises like this again. You're not going to believe this, folks. We've got aces once again. This is the 4th time this session. 6 times in 2 sessions we've got pocket aces. We took it down pre-flop twice. We lost the other 3 times. This time we'll go better. All right? We've got a limp. We raise up the aces up to $15. Folds around to the small blind, who, very good news. The new player at the table puts in a raise up to $65. Folds back to me. Could obviously trap, but I think at 1-3 we should always be 4-betting this. And I want to go a small inducing size. Now, I wanted to think that maybe I can fold if he jams. So I go for the 4-bet. $130, basically a min raise. But this does give me room if I had, say, ace-jack and wanted to fold to a jam. Then I could, right? After a little bit of thought, maybe 30 seconds, we hear the golden words. All in. We call, and now we are playing a $906 pot. Please give me a clean run out. All low cards. Flop comes down. Not great. It's Queen, Jack, 4, Rainbow. We're not losing the queens and jacks, but not too concerned. However, the turn comes down. The brutal King of Spades. My aces are face up. He hasn't shown his cards yet. River comes down. Deuce of clubs. He picks up his cards. We know it's coming. We know it's coming. Looks at them. His neighbor looks at them. And his neighbor shakes his head. And he looks at me and says, Jack 10. And mucks. No way. We held. We won. We're up. We're up money. We won with aces. Guys, I was 100%. I was like, there's no way we won this pot when that king rolled up on the turn. Oh my god, we're up. Holy shit. It's been like a 6-hour session of just getting pummeled. And with 2 back-to-back hands in like 2 orbits. We're up. We're up like $400. Yes! Alright, we got the button straddle. The blinds have both called. I got ace, deuce of spades. I go for the squeeze, bumping on up to $30. Only the small blind makes the call, so we're going heads up to this flop. And it comes out quite nice. It's 10, 7, 7, 2 spades in a club. My opponent's got around $200, so, you know, if he does want to raise, we're probably going to run it. We could get it in versus worth flush draws. We got great equity against a 10, etc. So, I'm going to go for a bet. A little bit more than 1/3, go for $30. And my opponent just folds, which... pretty good result. That was a nice flop. We flopped something. We bet. Good result happened. It's going great. This next hand, there are a lot of limps. We look down ace jack off in the small blind, raise it on up to $28. Only one of the limpers calls from middle position, a very loose player, so very happy with this result. And even happier when we do flop something once again. Ace 6-5, we made top pair. Gonna go for a small bet. I put in a $20 wager. Middle position, thinks about it for a while. This guy is nuts, and we are deep. We're like $600 deep. He like raised king jack on the turn and then jammed river on a jack 10 8-7 3 flush board. I think he was bluffing, but just absolute animal. So we're gonna have to go with it if he wants to play for stacks. Looks like he's thinking of something and eventually decides just to fold. With that, folks, we're gonna end our session. I was feeling very like timid, and I was having like I would call it like winner's tilt, where I just wanted to lock up a win. Right? I know I can't play my best. It's been just a brutal 15 hours or so of poker, including the last session, and I just want to lock up a win. It's gonna feel really good too, and it would feel really terrible to not have these chips. We ended up 400 and something dollars, but I will speak more about it in the outro. I'll see you folks there. All right, guys, we're gonna end the session there. We were in the game for, how much cash did I bring? $570. Out for 1,053 buckaroos for a win of $483. We lost $485 yesterday, so we are down $2 over the course of 2 sessions. I am over the moon for that, right? We're gonna rack up down $300 after that 7-6 suited hand, and even more if I just raised and everyone folded. So very happy. 2 hands, that's all it took. We had 30 hands of just getting pummeled, and just 2 hands, and we're up $483. It's absolutely incredible. It feels amazing. Our bankroll is now at minus $2,093, and we're making good progress to get out of the hole. Feels good, guys, to book a win. I'm going to be back next week, as always, playing some more 1-3. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm also going to be doing a bit of streams, so if you do see me live, we'll be playing some tournaments online. And that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Here's to getting out of the downswing. See you later.